My name's Chuck Wurth. I've been a driver with Crete since July of 2015, so not quite 2 years yet. Some of the things that I could tell you about Crete that hopefully would encourage you to make that first step towards us. Crete had a policy when I signed on that they started their drivers out at 45 cents a mile. At that time, I was only making 36. I couldn't help but try to make that move. One of the other things that helped me make that move wasn't just the money. I kept seeing these red trailers being pulled around the countryside, and on those trailers they had their famous little quote, "Our most valuable resource sits here." That stuck in my head, and I can't tell you how much, because it would be utterly ridiculous. It just meant something to me. If I'm going to put that on the side of my equipment, I better live up to it. So anyways, I called in, signed up, went to my orientation, and during the orientation I'm looking over all the paperwork that you have to sign, and I saw something on that paperwork that said I was going to get paid 46 cents a mile. Or I didn't quite understand that, because I thought it was 45. So I decided I better ask, because I knew the advertisement was 45. And the lady in the room said, "No, sir. How long you been driving?" I told her about a little over 3.5 years. She said, "No, that's what we pay starting drivers that have 3 years or more." I found that real interesting and a real tell about the company itself and where its integrity was. They could have paid me 45 cents a mile. I wouldn't have known the difference, and I still would have been happy as a lark. For me, it was an $8,000 a year raise, and I wasn't going to do any more work than I was already doing. As it turns out, it's a $9,000 raise. That pretty much meant a whole bunch to me. Their pocketbook, I'm sure, when they talk to their bean counters, is real important, but they recognize that mine is too. So that was a big deal to me. It's hard to explain a lot more about the company, but there are a couple things I will add. My asset manager, about 30 days into it, I ran into one of those trucking nightmares that you get when you're out there on the highway. And so I called him, but I had met him prior to that. I always go in and want to meet face-to-face with my managers, if you will. And I had established that he was a retired Marine, and I'm a retired Army guy. And we both know that the saying about the chaplain, go see the chaplain, he's the guy who cares. Well, I called him and I told him I was having a real bad day. I was really upset and frustrated with the consignee. I'm sorry, the shipper in this case. So we went over everything, and I had told him, you got to put your chaplain bars on your lapel and help me get through this, and so I can get back on the road and be safe out there. And he did just that. I think my telling him up front that, yeah, I'm having a bad day and I really need somebody to talk to so I can calm down, he understood that I needed a little help. I needed a little coaching. And he went through that like clockwork. Jerry is amazing. I'm sure the other folks that are there as asset managers are great people, but Jerry is very special to me as an individual. The other thing that's really been good for me is my Phoenix people. Phoenix has a terminal, and the ladies there, I like to call them the 3 lady musketeers. They are very special in Phoenix, and I'm sure at the other places there's a lot of great people, but I can assure you if you get on the Phoenix staff, you'll love them. They're really very, very nice people. That's pretty much the extent of what I would tell you right now that might help you make that decision. If you have any more questions for me, my number is 480-305-4982. It's Chuck Wurth, Truck 38435. Or you can just call into the company number, which is, 888-799-4632. If you decide to call those guys so that you can get even more information and get a great feel for how our recruiters work and the promises they'll try to make to you and all the information they have at their disposal, just do me a favor. Tell them Chuck sent you, Truck 38435. There's another thing you would learn about the company if you decide to join us, and that is a little bit of a bonus we get as drivers for talking to you guys out in the field. And have a nice day, and we'll talk to you a little bit later. Bye-bye.